Hello and welcome to the Aop Report. Here it is, May of June 2021, and we are finally into the tunnel and through the pandemic where we can see the light at the end of the tunnel. But as I said about a year ago, that's going to create a whole new set of problems, and we have now started to see those problems. Pricing on merchandising is gone high. It's gone up no matter what you buy, what you sell, it doesn't matter. If it's a product, it's gone up. So it doesn't matter what industry you're in, you're seeing uh, the products that pertain to that industry see an increase in price. And we knew that was going to happen. Here at AOP, we try to keep those prices down as best we can. There's going to be times where we can't, and we'll have to pass that on to you. And there's going to be times that we can. But in the meantime, what we're doing is we're trying to find ways to help save you money through this time, and we'll get through it together. So don't have to sweat the big stuff. Our number one goal is to make sure that you have what you need when you need it. And we want to use to survive just like we do. And the better we can help you survive and keep your costs down, then the better it is for AOP as well. The biggest thing is paper pricing. As many of you already know, there's only 2 U.S. mills in the United States that are now making copy paper. The bad thing is when the pandemic hit and half the world quit working, the paper output died down, and they converted some of the machines to diaper making and plywood and some other things. And so the copy paper machines have almost gone away with the dodo bird. There's a few more out there, but and that's the reason that we're going to see a lot of paper pricing increase is, the supply and demand. Half the world wasn't working, and now everybody's starting to come back to work. The supply is there, or the demand is there, and the supply is not, because nobody was working. The warehouses aren't full. And so as the warehouses got depleted, now we got a problem where, hey, let's raise prices, and they won't use the product as much. I don't know whoever came up with that idea, but that's what they seem to think works, and it doesn't work. But we have to deal with it. So we're looking for pricing of paper to go up, and that means pretty much when paper goes up, everything goes up, because everything comes in a carton that's made either by a paper mill or a carton mill. And so we suspect that a lot of the pricing will go up. Stay tuned on that. We're going to try our darndest to keep everything level, keep you going without causing that big pain of price increase. But just hang in there. We'll get through it. The biggest problem that we see facing now is, since there's no paper in the warehouse, the delays in merchandising, as y'all have seen on other things. The paper now is going to be hit. Where before, when you ordered it, you got it within 5 days. Now it might be 2 or 3 weeks. So we have to adjust our purchasing based on when we can get it and how long it takes. I would suggest that you do the same. I know you have a budget to work in, and I know that you have space limitations, just like we do. But at the same time, we've got to get through September. And this is what the mill is telling us, because back to school is going to hit sometime in mid-July, go all the way through September. A lot of the school districts order their paper about that time, and the mills they're adamant about they're not going to have enough in stock, and so it's going to cause a paper shortage. So keep that in mind when you're trying to order for paper. We're going to try to get you through September with our stock, but again, we're limited on space as well. And so if you have extra space, I suggest that you store some paper in there. Don't use it until we have to, somewhere in that mid-range between July and September, if that paper shortage does come to fruition. I suspect it will, just because, the mills didn't work during the pandemic, just like a lot of people didn't work. So we suspect that there will be a paper shortage. Right now, we have 2 truckloads in the back. We don't really have room for another one, but I've got 2 more coming, and I'll worry about where I'm going to put it when it gets here. my number one goal is to make sure you don't run out of paper. And so that's where we're at on that. As far as some of the other things, we have already seen the shortage in ink cartridges. When I talked to HP during the pandemic, they had no idea of everybody stopped going to the office and using toner machines and staying home and using ink machines. And so they wasn't prepared for it. Who was, right? Nobody was prepared for the pandemic. And so HP got caught with their pants down as well. And that caused a shortage of ink cartridges. It's starting to get better, but again, it's still the same thing, that it's still hard to get ink cartridges. So keep that in mind when you're buying ink cartridges. If we find one for you, you might want to go ahead and just turn around and reorder it. Don't just in time inventory is probably not a way to go during the pandemic. So not trying to sell you product, I'm just trying to tell you how it is. It is very hard to try to find stuff. Every morning I spend an hour to 2 hours just trying to find back orders on normal stuff that we normally have. And today it's just, right now going on, when somebody calls in and says, can I get it tomorrow? Usually it was always yes, not a problem. Now we have to check inventory, make sure we have it, make sure that the wholesaler has it, make sure the manufacturer has it, so we can, guarantee that we can even get it. So keep that in mind when you're doing your ordering. It doesn't matter if you're ordering from me or anybody else. Keep that in mind. Whatever you order to keep your day-to-day operations going, make sure you allow plenty of time and that you have plenty of stock available for an emergency, because it's coming down the road. We're almost done with the pandemic, but that's when the fighting with lack of merchandise in a warehouse starts. And so we're starting to see it more and more on common items, where before we were seeing it on items not very used very often. Now it's common items. Now it's paper. Okay, it's always been ink and toner, but it's pens, just pretty much staples, paper clips, everything that you use on a day-to-day basis. It's getting more difficult to get. And so we spend a lot of time trying to make sure that we either have those items or can get them for you. So please bear with us on that. That's pretty much the AOP report. I wanted to let everybody know that expect a lot of price increases, whether you go to the grocery store, they're in the same boat as we are. It's prices are going to go up. It may not be pandemic shelf bearing at your grocery store, but it's still going to be limited. So you might, I don't want you to hoard everything, but at the same time, you want to make sure that you have enough food to get you through a couple of weeks. It's the same thing with office products, except for we go further than a couple of weeks. Make sure that you have enough to get you by in a couple of months, because I'm going to tell you, between July 15th and September 30th, there most likely will be a shortage on paper, and whoever can, stock up will be all right. If you are just in time ordering system and you suspect that we're going to have it, we may get caught with less inventory. So keep that in mind. We're gonna work real hard on making sure we have it. We're not going to wait till we get down to 5 pallets to order a truck of 21 pallets. We're gonna, as soon as we get one truck in, we're going to turn around and order another one, knowing how long it's going to take. But that way we'll have time to sell one and then bring one in, because we are limited on space as well. So we understand that problem for you. But keep that in mind. If you got an empty closet, you might buy, 4 or 5 extra cases, stick it in the closet, kind of forget about it until midsummer, late summer, and then you can always use it. It's not going to go bad. It's in the closet, lights off, so you'll be okay there. But that's pretty much all I got on the AOP report, and we're looking to get to the tunnel with the lights on, and we're close to the end of the tunnel with this pandemic. We have all learned all kinds of stuff during the pandemic. We learned how to Zoom, and so some of the sales calls you're going to see coming out are going to be Zoom calls. We've learned that you don't need me to come by every day or every week. And so that's probably going to happen more and more. But I still want to stay in contact with you guys. So we're going to do a lot of Zoom calling as well. Um, but we also learned you got to be prepared for the next thing that's coming down the road. And so we want to try to figure that out. What's coming down the road right now, we know there's going to be pretty sure there's going to be a paper shortage. So we're working on it, trying to make sure that you don't get punished and get caught with a hand in the cookie jar, and we don't either. So we're working on that right now. And so be prepared, though. I wanted everybody to understand that, you know, at Arkansas Office Products, it's not about selling product. It's not about, you know, trying to make a lot of money. It's all about taking care of you, what I call our business partners. A lot of people call you customers. No, we're business partners. Okay. I need to help you to grow your business so you can help me grow mine. And that's a partnership. And that's the way we look at it. We're going to continue to do that. That's just how we go to work. And that's our business model. And we've enjoyed it. I know that our customers have enjoyed it, and we're going to continue to do that. As far as products delays, we're going to give you some other options. Again, you know, if something's on back order and I send you an email and say, hey, this is on back order, we don't have a due date, here is a sub, it's still up to you to sub it over or not. If you say, yeah, send me what you got, I'll do it. If you say no, keep it on back order, we'll keep it on back order. So it's all up to you, but we want to make sure that you have the right tools out there to keep your business running. And we are the tool maker in office products. So keep that in mind, and we'll see everybody on the next AOP report. Thank you.